So I think this matchup is Jeffrey versus Claudio. So if Claudio is on the same deck, so Claudio is on player 2 side. He is on the same deck. We see the boo. So he is on Hot Bant 4-color control. And Jeffrey we saw earlier playing blue black control. So this we're gonna need the life counters because both of them clearly didn't listen to me. Where is it? Aha! So we change this from Storm to 2020. Then we can change the color. Just change it to this for now. And hopefully it doesn't get in the way down here. That. Cool. Yeah, I think with this new suite that Modern Horizons 2 gave us, like Sarah's Emissary, Archons, and Griefs, you don't really need the old Reanimator package of what is the black white creature, the thing that exiles a permanent on ETB and death. Okay, I'm just gonna say it outright. Um, Grave Titan is a terrible card in Legacy. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's not going in the deck. But yeah, Ashen Rider. So Ashen Rider, Tidespell Tyrant, and what's the last? The Sire of Insanity? I think those were the 3 utility creatures aside from Iona that Reanimator used to run. But now you don't really need that suite because Archon, Atraxa, and what's it called? Sarah, even Sarah's Emissary has been starting to get cut from lists. I think because a lot of decks have learned to diversify their threats and win on multiple axes, that it doesn't really see much play anymore. I think a lot of more people have been moving back towards Chancellor of the Annex decks too, just because initiative is gone down in terms of popularity, so soul land decks are not as prevalent as they were online anymore. Ow. All right. Claudio. Oh, I have not been updating life totals. So it should be 19 all, both fetch and cantrip. We're in it for the long run, boys. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Actually, before we start this, I am just gonna go give my puppy some dinner. So we'll call it like a 5-minute break and then we'll continue. All right, we're back a little early. So, okay. So we're back. What do I need to bring up here? I need to bring up this. Keep track of life totals. All right. So Claudio on the right, player 2. Jeffrey on the left, player 1. Jeffrey on blue black control, and Claudio 2-upping him with two colors, green and red, with 4-color control. So down comes Mercurial Spell Dancer, which normally sees play in a tempo style list, but Jeffrey opting to play it in more of a control style list. So Claudio lets it resolve, depending on what land he wants here. So we see Uro, Brainstorm. Okay, probably not the right time to call it out, but On the top, we see Sylvan Library, Terminus, and Stifle. So drawing the Stifle. Looks like he is going to keep the 3 cards on top. He can shuffle away them anytime. So we see Dress Down, Tropical Island, Scalding Tarn, Force of Will, Brainstorm, Arrow, Stifle. Jeffrey casting his own Brainstorm, triggering the Mercurial Spell Dancer, putting an oil counter. I'm gonna oil it up. I'm gonna lather it, splither it, splish and splash it. Kind of difficult to see what's in Jeffrey's hand. But looks like he's putting Wasteland as the next card to draw. So he opts out to draw Basic Swamp, puts a Wasteland on top. Looks like we had a Jace in hand. Jeffrey attacking for 2. Is that the only point that we've seen? So he should be at 17 now. Or not Jeffrey should. Claudio should be at 17. So Claudio just plays Tropical Island, Sylvan Library. Jeffrey untaps, draws the Wasteland. Take out the Tropical Island, perhaps? Or are we gonna Jace here? Looks like we're gonna Jace. Play Jace the Mind Sculptor. Gonna Force of Will that with a Stifle. Exiling Stifle. Exiling Dress Down. Alright, so Force of Will from Jeffrey. Right back at you. So is the Jace resolving? 'Tis the question. So Claudio fetching down to 15 now. Is this Earl Pile playing Staff? I don't think it's playing Staff yet. I think he's still acquiring them. The Toronto meta is quite thin on them at the moment. Or Toronto stores. I think the majority of them have been eaten up by the downtown players. Alright. This looks like an end of turn brainstorm. So we see Teferi, Cosmo, Prismatic Ending. Oh no, this is all still in response to the Jace. So Spell Dancer up to 3 lather counters. Putting 2 Planeswalkers on the top. I assume this Jace is now gonna resolve. There we go. Fate Seal. We saw Teferi on the top, right? And I think Teferi now going to the bottom. So that means he's drawing the Cosmo. Oh, there's a Sylvan Library, so we don't know what he's drawing. Nope, so he put Cosmo on the bottom, and it's Teferi, Flooded Strand, Wasteland on the top. Keeping it exactly how it is, just drawing for turn. Yeah, so he's gonna draw the Teferi, try to most likely play Teferi to try and win the counter war, but Teferi becomes wide open to the Spell Dancer. Oh, so we're just gonna deal with this Jace here. Probably fetching the red source, the Volcanic Island. Oh, Taiga. Interesting. Opts for Taiga over Volcanic Island. Man, Jeffrey having every answer this game, eh? Daze the Prismatic Ending. Alright. Untaps. So I think he has another Wasteland in hand. I think at this point you want to start brainstorming, right? So draws Days, another Dancer, and a second Days Undoing. So I think he's putting both Days Undoing on top. Putting Wasteland Days Undoing on top. So probably playing Island for turn, and then Wastelanding is the plan. Not entirely sure what you would Wasteland though. You take him off white. So I'm kind of questioning this Mercurial Spelldancer's. So he takes a Taiga. Very interesting. There's a Minsc and Boo on the top. So Minsk Forest Plains. Opting to draw the Force of Will. So play Uro. Draws the plains off the top. Gets to play it. Dang, he dazes again. Wow, wow, wow. So many, so many answers here. So both of those are missed triggers. The spell dancers should both have an additional counter on them. Looks like he's fate sealing Claudio. So all he gets to see is basic planes, which Jeffrey just keeps on top. So yeah, what I was saying before is I'm unsure of why the spell dancers are in the deck. Like all of the stuff you want to be copying are your cantrips, but we like he's. It seems like very cantrip. Like he's not drawing his cantrips. I guess that's the reason why. It's like he just hasn't drawn them. So there's a Days Undoing. What's up, weird Scottish guy? How it do be going? How it do going be? How doing be? Him as well? Yeah, I guess you could also do it for him. I don't know, like would you not rather have like better cards than to just double up on these types of FX? Because it requires you to play more cards to make those cards doubled up. Like, I guess they're way more geared towards a tempo strategy rather than a control strategy, because you don't want to block with them, and you kind of want to block Uro. Oh my god, I haven't been keeping track of life. Uh, so because I don't know what the life totals are, we're gonna do this. It's a guessing game. Guys, if you're on camera, please use the phone. It is right there. It is sitting there doing nothing. You guys can keep your life totals with pen and pencil all you want, but please keep track of life on a phone somewhere and make sure the phone is visible. Jeffrey, you've been on camera like 6 times. You should know this by now, please. I'm begging you. Because all the other times have been fine. We're doing okay. We're trying to figure out all this footage and stuff. But beyond that, it's same old, same old. Just super busy with work as it's graduation time and trying to get all the students and stuff ready and prepped. So we're gonna -1 the Jace, bounce the Uro, get some good value there. Play this Wasteland that we've been top decking for a while now. Then we Wasteland, Wasteland the Tropicals, so we take the second green away so we can't Uro it back. Pay 3 mana, Days Undoing. Nice. Gets rid of the graveyard from Uro. And we shuffle away the Uro that we bounced. Like, these oil, like, we need to start seeing something, like, these Mercurial Spell Dancers aren't convincing me that they should be in the deck. He needs to start using them. Because he's attacked with them every turn, right? Which is good. But he hasn't chosen to activate it even when he's had spells in hand. Granted, they were most likely the wrong spells, but this is a really good hand from Claudio. Double Force. So Claudio draws. Looks like it's a Prismatic Ending again. There's got Tundra. There's got double Prismatic Ending, Ponder, Brainstorm, Force of Will, Force of Will. Prismatic Ending, one of the Spell Dancers. Yep. So it's effectively just been a Snapcaster this entire time. Prismatic Ending, the other one. Yep. Well, we're going to daze that one because you can no longer pay for it. We're going to Force of Will that one. I think that's, that's what happens when you daze Undoing. Get back all the cards that you've seen in this game. So untap, Jeffrey draws another Edict. Is there no way for him to deal with the Sylvan Library? Because that's giving Claudio like a lot of selection here that he doesn't want to be dealing with. There's a Ponder from Jeffrey. 3 cards. One of them a Daze. Opting to shuffle. So this was in the pack that they're playing for. Is this game 1? I think this is game 1, right? This is him to Torok. Don't have to keep track of what was I called? Oil counters anymore. So Claudio has 1 card in hand, opts to Force of Will because he wants to protect the Minskin Boo. So hopefully we can get a red land off the top. There's a Taiga. Easy peasy. Draw, play Taiga, play Minskin Boo. Does he have a response? Does not look like it. All right. Claudio has tons of lands. Looks like the Boo is going to attack Jace. Jace upticks seems super sus against Sylvan. Yeah. I don't think he has. I guess it would be a better to like brainstorm as well. So here's a sudden edict. Oh no, Baleful Strix. Draw a card. I don't think Jeffrey can be in the position to be playing Wastelands. He's playing Baleful Strix. He's playing Hymn to Torox, Sinkholes. He has a lot of like dual mana pips. If he's playing Sinkholes, I don't think he needs Wastelands. But I guess his point is like whatever Wasteland can't hit, Sinkhole can hit, which is the basics. But it's rough, like the mana base here. Is that a Space Bellerin? Is that card even legal? Or is it Cosmo? That's Cosmo. Alright. It's about sending a message. What the hell does the dog even do? It does like a bunch of random stuff, right? Depending on what you roll. What is the 3? Is something like flashback? It returns an instant or sorcery from his graveyard to his hand. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty good. Alright, there's a sudden edict. Kills the boo. Very well timed. So can we do anything against a Minskin Boo and a Cosmo? There's another land from Jeffery. He needs a way to deal with this Minskin Boo. I think he needs to start brainstorming to dig for answers. Because there's no way he can go on like this, especially now facing down two Planeswalkers. So he sees Baleful Strix, Stifle, Flooded Strand. I think it's a Stifle. Yes, that is Stifle. So he ditches two lands. Plays land to shuffle. Searches for Underground Sea. So still hasn't found an effective way to deal with this Minskin Boo. It's probably just attack it at this point. There's yet another land. Attacking Claudio. So we don't know what their life totals are at. But that's very curious. So he's not stressing about this Minskin Boo. So there's triple land on the top for Claudio. Definitely want the fetch land to get those off the top. Or get those shuffled away. So there was a miss upkeep, but, you know, it's kind of loose. Who cares? We're going to plus, make a 4/4, attack Jace. Gotta use Cosmo. I have no idea what that does. Does it make like a 1/1 or something? Alright, we need to know what Cosmo does. Wizard, stop printing retarded cards into our format. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that, right? Wizard, stop printing shitty cards that aren't meant to be played in 1v1 in our format. What is the dog called? Hey, don't clip it. Oh, it's Comet, not Cosmo. Comet, the Stellar Pup. So it creates 2/1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. They got haste until end of turn. That's really good with Boo. Because if you make the squirrel tokens, you don't need Boo anymore. You just pimp out your tokens. I do have to admit, the cosmic treatment, the foil effect, I don't know what they call it. But those ones are pretty good. They look pretty nice. So we play a Mercurial Spell Dancer. Not sure why we're holding up this Wasteland. Should be using it for mana or to just blow something up. Probably not worth blowing anything up anymore because he has so many lands. I guess if your goal is to oil up your Spell Dancer to start sinkholing everything, then the Wasteland can be useful. So we're cracking the Misty. Digging for... That's a Savannah. Man, we really need to Blood Moon this guy. Look at this mana base. Trop, Tundra, Taiga, Savannah. Whew. Alright, upkeep. Boo. Put Ponder on top. We have Spell Pierce. So draw the spell. No, draw Ponder? Shoot, I don't remember what he put on top. Alright, so he activates Comet. We're gonna stifle the Comet. Gonna cast a Ponder, so we know there's land. Not casting Ponder. But we do know that there's land, Spell Pierce, something else unknown. There should be an oil counter on this Spell Dancer. Yeah, so we're casting Ponder. Teferi, Spell Pierce. Play Teferi. Do we play Teferi? If you play Teferi, you're kind of setting him into his death, right? Unless you plus, you would have to plus. Curiouser and Curiouser. So not tapping for Teferi. Gonna plus. I'm gonna fling the Boo. Okay. Kill the Dancer. So we draw the Spell Pierce. We're casting Teferi. And we're gonna Daze. He's just gonna pay 1 mana, right? Bouncing Baleful Strix. And now, are we gonna kill this Jace with the 2 squirrels? Wait, is he conceding? Why? What is going on here? Why did he concede? I'm very confused. Please use a phone to track life totals. Please. I beg of you guys. Ah. Alright, we're gonna kinda skip through this. Why are there these 3 planeswalkers still on the... So he's just fully telling him that he's not taking them out? Cool. Nice and loose. Just how we like it. So a lot more disruption. We saw Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, Flusterstorm, Force of Negations, all coming in against Jeffery here. Just gonna skip forward a bit. So Claudio draws Ponder, Brainstorm, Force, Wasteland, Swords, Windswept Teeth. This is kind of a sketchy hand. There's a lot of interaction, but your land in a 4-color deck is not great. I guess it's fixed with Ponder. I think you fetch a Tundra here, right? Yeah, because you want to keep your... whatchamacallit? Swords to Plowshares open. Wow, no lands. But there is a Carpet of Flowers in there. So we're going to shuffle. Yeah, makes sense. There's a Tropical Island. Draw Brainstorm. And then pass the turn. Jeffery draws Underground Sea. Plays the Marsh Flats. Cracks Marsh Flats. Oh, I should be doing life total, shouldn't I? Now that I can actually track it. So it's 19 all. Uh, Jeffery also plays Ponder. So Ponder versus Ponder. Baleful Strix, Ponder, Polluted Delta, I want to say. So he opts to keep the Baleful Strix on top and he passes the turn. There is a third Brainstorm for Claudio. That is a lot of Brainstorms. And still finds no lands. This was a very sketchy keep, I said from the beginning. Especially in a 4-color deck. I don't think you want to keep the Wasteland. So yeah, get rid of Teferi, Minsc, and Boo, but you want to draw the Teferi. Yeah. And now you are Brainstorm locked. What's up, Side Norns? Whoa, all the way from California? What's going on? What's good? It's like 7 o'clock for you there, right? What'd you have for big dinner? Just watching local Tuesday night legacy. Watching Blue Black Control versus. Okay, he says it's Blue Black Control. Okay, it is kind of Blue Black Control, but it feels a lot more tempo-y. Local to where? Local to Toronto. So we record footage, um, kind of not in Toronto, but north of Toronto. Once I get everything fleshed out, smoothed out with footage, maybe I might start just recording all of Toronto's legacy scene. Well, not all of it, but a good portion of it, if I can get permission from the stores. But yeah, we have a lot of stores that support legacy in the GTA. So there was a second crack from Jeffrey. Sorry, I got kind of distracted there. Claudio taking 1 damage from Baleful Strix, I suspect. So I think this is an end of. Nope, beginning of his turn, Brainstorm. Looking for more lands. Well, we find one, but it's a Taiga. Not exactly where we want to be, but we'll take anything at this point. I'm also not quite sold on Fairy Mastermind. Yeah, this is so awkward for a 4-color mana base. Not a huge fan of the keep here. Especially if you haven't fired off those Force of Wills. You have to be waiting for some pretty big important spells there, but from Jeffrey, all we've seen are Baleful Strixes and Mercurial Spell Dancers. Like you've seen like a couple Planeswalkers and stuff, but nothing more than that. So down comes Brainstorm for Jeffrey. So he'll draw the second card and then Fairy Mastermind. So you'll need to resolve the Brainstorm first, and then the Fairy Mastermind will trigger, go on the stack. So Jeffrey draws. I think trigger on the stack. He's gonna try to Hull Breacher. I think that's what's happening here, which is super good. Okay, now I'm completely lost. So has the Brainstorm resolved? I don't know what's going on here. So he's gonna force exiling Narset, but Claudio uses Force of Wills. So he's used 2 going down to 16. Jeffrey uses his own Force of Will going down to 17. So we got into a battle of wills here. Jeffrey's will just a little stronger. So now Claudio's hand kind of just disappointing. He kept a double force hand, lost the force war, and has been so far behind on lands that he hasn't done anything effectively. Alright, so now we're double swinging with Baleful Strix, bringing Claudio down to 14. Has he drawn a fourth land for this Minskin Boo? It is not. It is a Swords to Plowshares. Takes care of the Hull Breacher. So Jeffrey will gain 3 life, going to 20. Fairy Mastermind attacking, bringing him down to 19. No, sorry, 18. I forget that is a 2-1. So he's got not a lot going on, Claudio, in his hand. He is 1 mana off of playing Cosmo and Minskin Boo. No, he doesn't have red-green for the Minskin Boo. So only 1 mana off for the Cosmo. Claudio swings again for Flash in Opposition Agent. Brainstorm in response. Did I miss 2 damage on Claudio? Should he be at 12? I think so, right? Because the 2 Baleful Strix. We counted the Fairy Mastermind twice, but only the Baleful Strix is once. How's the Legacy scene out in Cali? And it's in the Bay Area too, man. I really want to go to Evo. So Claudio takes 5, goes to 7. So down comes Carpet of Flowers. Carpet of Flowers is such an interesting card. So good. Man, Baleful Strix also a really good card too. Claudio tries to fetch, but there's an opposition agent on the board. Don't worry, Claudio. I tried to do the same thing last week. I tried to expedition map and I completely forgot about it. Except I didn't take it back. I let Jeffrey take my Urza Saga. And then he made his own construct, and the rest is history. Alright. Draw Sudden Edict off the top. Attack. Blocks the opposition agent. Goes down to 5. Claudio fetching goes down to 4. I hope I have this counted correctly. It's weird, man. Like, this should have been a mulligan, I think. So using the mana off the Carpet of Flowers, down comes a Minskin Boo. So this is going to be rough. Swinging for 4. Bringing Jeffrey to 12. It could get out of hand for Jeffrey now if he just draws nothing. I think you attack Claudio, bring him down to 2. So now Claudio has to interact with one of his Baleful Strixes. He also could just draw 4 cards, right? So Jeffrey trying to fetch around the Carpet of Flowers. So he gets a swamp off the Verdant Catacombs. But he must realize that he cannot fetch a swamp with Flooded Strand. He has to get an island. I wonder if he runs... Oh, no, it's just blue-black, so he doesn't have any planes. Makes sense. So he just played... Or he just fetched and passed? Would it not have just been better to leave up the fetch land and not fetch for anything? Instead of giving him a mana and losing a life? So Claudio has land, Force of Will in hand. probably gonna uptick Boo here, right? And just try to race. You can't race the Baleful Strix. You have to sack it. Yeah, kill Baleful Strix. Draw 4 cards. So I think he's drawing lands now, right? Oh no, it's Comet. Cosmo? Comet. Play Comet. Just using the Carpet of Flowers mana, I assume. So what is the 4 mana for? So it creates 2 1/1s. 2 1/1 squirrels with haste. Is he attacking with them? Now it gets like really confusing because we don't have the real life totals. So I think he has a Veil of Summer in hand. Looks like he's not attacking. Baleful Strix attacks. Takes Claudio down to 1 by our calculations. I don't know. This looked way more like a tempo strategy. It might have aimed to be like a mid-range deck, but I don't think it did well. I think it's better off as a tempo strategy. So we're sacking the Boo, killing the Baleful Strix to stay alive. We're gonna try and get to take over with this Comet. So Comet makes 2 more 1/1s, I believe. So Jeffrey has to do 1 point of damage somehow. And Claudio has 4 1/1s. Claudio attacking for 2, presumably. So Jeffrey has a phantom life total of 8. Down comes Sylvan Library using the mana from Carpet of Flowers. Plays a second one. Don't think any tempo decks runs Narset and Days Undoing. True. True. Polluted Delta. Cast Days Undoing. Risky here. Force of Will. Hard cast Force of Will. Days. Can't fetch. So it looks like this is going to resolve. Okay, so we've got hand resets, and now it's Claudio's turn. And Jeffrey effectively losing half of his life this turn from those 4 1/1s. So what are we drawing here? So Claudio Sylvan Library sees 3 lands. Draws one of them. Plays Tundra. And I guess we're just attacking. No, you want to activate Comet first, right? Because you could also get 2 1/1s. He makes 2 more 1/1s. So he's attacking for 6, maybe? Or still only for 4? Play a Ponder. Okay. So I think you want to shuffle, right? Because you saw 3 lands on the top. Yeah, there's a Stifle. Not sure if you really want that. Okay, so opposite keep the Stifle, just in case. And are we attacking for 6 here? Yep, looks like it. So Jeff goes down to 2. Wow, this is a pretty close match here. What is he stifling? Jeffrey's fetch, I guess? Is it 1-1? Two mana. Snapcaster. End of turn the Snapcaster. He's gonna Swords to Plowshare during the end step. Jeffery goes up to 3. Yep, and I think that's the game. So I think as you can see here at the end, Claudio just gives it to Jeffery because Claudio cannot stay for the last game. So Jeffery beats Claudio in 3, I guess. But yeah.